Hello everyone, thanks for watching. I'm going to start recording some videos about a refactor that I have to do in an app that I am in a project I am currently working in the work. Basically, it's a command line application, and it started when I had to work with some uh, boring stuff, and I decided to create some local scripts in order to make things easier. So it was just let's say a set of helpers that I had locally to make my life easier, let's say. So the point is that the leadership decided uh, to make those helpers public, not public to anyone, but public for the company, for in an attempt to let them easier to be run, for example. So it's a command line application. It's a very small application, and we are right now using uh, some of those commands from Jenkins. So we have people accessing Jenkins in this case, and we are calling those commands using Jenkins jobs. And the big problem that we are having right now is that we are adding new logic, we are adding new commands, and we cannot test. We cannot run tests. Actually, we could, but not the right way. So when we start adding more and more logic, we start having some issues because we are doing some changes in the code, and we could be affecting other commands we already have. So the point here is that I would like to start doing a refactor, and so the company allowed me to record this video, to create some YouTube videos showing how was the refactoring process and how we could do it better, how to run tests, how to write tests, how to think in the let's say test way. And so just to go through the application, it's a very simple application. So let me just fix something here. So basically what we are doing is we have a set of commands here. So we first of all, what's the project? We use dictionaries in order to do translations in our applications. So we have a set of key value, and for all the language we are supporting right now, 15 languages if I'm not wrong. And so for each language we have for example, the uh, base dictionary, and we also have dictionaries customized per customers. So the customers ones are gonna override some keys in the base dictionary we already have. So the point here is we have a set of commands. We are using MongoDB in this app, and we have a set of commands here like add keys, sync dictionaries, etc, 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 a lot of different stuff. And we have some helpers here in the source folder. We have CLI, that's an easy way to get some arguments, so I can also get a single argument to evaluate some boolean values from arguments, and also an easy way to get an output path that's valid, for example, to write a CSV or something like that. And we also have the dictionary helper. So we have a custom dictionary namespace here, and we have this Mongo helper. So for example, I am getting a dictionary by the language. I have a set of rules here. The query I am running in Mongo, the collection I am using in Mongo, and also the environment. We have 4 different environments. We have development, staging, sandbox, and platform. Platform is our production one, right? So is our source of truth for the keys, dictionaries, etc. So if you take a look in the sync dictionaries, for example, what we are doing here is we are getting all the dictionaries language, all the dictionaries we have for each language, and we are just copying or updating the development stage and sandbox ones. So this is what we are doing right now. And how we run commands, for example, let me go to master. Okay, so how do we run commands? We just type php and the command name, and if we have some argument here, we are gonna type something in here, and we are gonna get the old php way to, for example, read arguments, etc., parse everything. So the goal here is to use another different approach to make things using objects, using classes, to be able to create tests, unit tests, and also to be able to mock the, for example, some dependencies. And this is the goal we have here. So in order to start, what we are going to do for now is we are gonna let's create first here another folder called bin. Oops, I did. Okay, folder bin, and we are gonna have a PHP file called console, for example, inside that bin folder. And what we want to do is autoload composer. We are gonna add bootstrap the symfony-console package, and we are gonna at least create the first command using a class. Okay, so first of all, autoload composer, we are gonna require once the there, and we are gonna get vendor autoload here. So it's done. Let me composer requires symfony-console. I'm working master, but I shouldn't. Let me create a temporary branch. Okay, let me check out refactor. It's gonna be the branch name. Okay, all right, so I have some stuff here. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create an application in Symfony console application, Symfony component console application. I'm not gonna give any parameters here. Let me import this, and I should run in the end, right? Oops. And in here I should register the first command. I don't have this command yet. And okay, that's all basically that we have to do. So let me get the first command here. I'm gonna, instead of using this cmd folder here, I'm gonna create another one in the source called command, and I'm gonna create a new class. I'm gonna call it sync dictionaries. And this class, what I'm gonna do, okay, I don't have any namespace for now. Let me try to add a ps4. Oops, what's wrong here? ps4, and let's add the dictionary namespace. It's gonna be mapped to src. Okay, I think it's all good. Let me dump autoload. Okay, it seems to be working. So just to make sure it's working, let me remove this file. I'm going to create a new class, this same one, the sync dictionaries, and we already have the namespace here, so it's working fine, right? So I think we have to extend console command. I think it's something like this. I'm not sure, but okay, get the full name, construct, and I'm not configure execute. Okay, so what we are gonna implement here is the execute method. So execute. Oh, actually, it's not extend command, it's implement command. Probably we have from a command interface or something, if my Mac helps. Shit. Okay. Command, let me take a look on the symfony-console. Okay. Console commands. Yeah, extends command, so it's correct. So I was correct in the first place. Extends command. Okay. So and we are gonna have these. Let me copy this and I'm gonna remove later. Okay. Okay. So let's call this dictionary sync. Okay. String. Oops. Oh, this is not a property. Okay. All right. So I have this configure here. It's void probably. Yeah. And execute is returning an integer. Yeah. All right. So we have let me move all the content here. I'm gonna copy for now inside the execute. So it should be working like it is already. So I'm not gonna do anything here, but in our console we are gonna add the sync dictionaries command, right? I'm not dealing with dependencies here, it's just to understand how it's working. And so dictionary sync. So if I run php bin console.php dictionary sync, let me change this just to my local instead of doing anything that could be a problem for me. So argument one application register type. Okay, let me remove this configure because we are register type string object given. Let me go back. Oh, it's add, it's not register, so it's my add. Yeah, okay, so this is the, let me try to run again. Yeah, it's working. Almost, because we are not loading environment variables. What I'm gonna do is I have a bootstrap file that I am using. I'm gonna just copy the .env usage here. So I am getting the environments and I am creating the commands I have. So if I run it again, I got another problem. Unable to read enough. Oh. I think it's gonna work. Yeah, it's working. Cool. So what we did right now is we are already using Symfony console. We already have a class that's not a class yet. It's in a procedural way, but we are still using this that should be moved to, for example, some dependencies, etc. And so in the next video, what we are gonna do is we are gonna create something like a dictionary repository in order to have some helpers or some methods to get a dictionary from the database, update, etc. And we are going to start improving this here, okay? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video and see you next time. Okay, cheers, bye bye.